Hello, this short presentation is on Designing for Integrity Online. I'm Loretta Frankovich from the Office of Academic Integrity here at the University at Buffalo. Dishonesty can help us learn how to become better teachers. Many faculty focus on the cheating student and cheating behavior, the end product, so to speak. But there is literature to suggest that we can design better learning environments to begin with, which will both deter cheating and promote quality instruction. Lang offers 5 main reasons why students cheat: performance, high stakes, extrinsic motivation, low expectations, and peer culture. We're going to look at each specifically. So the first reason why students may cheat is there might be an emphasis on performance. So the issue is potentially a single test or very minimal number of assessments. So when there is that case of a single test, students will do whatever it takes to succeed. Pressure produces cheating. So some theory to kind of help us find a solution would be looking at mastery versus performance orientation. Performance orientation emphasizes one product, the test or a project, something that the student does that's very small. It's shallow surface level memorization of material. It also promotes test-taking strategies rather than actually learning the material. Mastery orientation, on the other hand, promotes deep learning, mastery of whatever you're trying to teach. So Anderman, and Murdoch in 2006 said that students in performance-based courses cheat more often than students in mastery-oriented courses. So the solution, therefore, is to offer multiple and varied opportunities for learning. Students should showcase their abilities and their knowledge using several forms of assessments: quizzes, tests, projects, papers, other forms of assessment. Lastly, I'd like to mention the case of John Boyer at Virginia Tech. He's a geography instructor who regularly has packed classes, over 2,500 students each semester. And he makes his students create their own fate. That's what he calls it. Everyone has to complete a certain number of activities. They're not all tests, not all projects, not all papers. There is structure to the course itself, but there are options within the structure so that the student can earn points in their stronger areas. So if you're a strong test taker, you can take more tests. If you're a strong paper writer, you can write more papers. They still need to complete other assignments to earn a fair grade, and everyone needs to touch on overall concepts that the faculty member deems important. So it's not just random point accumulation, and it has proven to be very motivational for students. So the second reason ties very closely to the first one. This is high stakes writing on the outcome. So the issue is a large part of your grade coming from 1 or 2 tests. In 2008, 2009, there was a scandal in Atlanta over administrators altering test scores in the K-12 sector. You may remember. Students weren't cheating in this instance. The administration was. They had jobs writing in the performance of their teachers, so they altered the test grades of students. So we can see that there were very high stakes involved. And we know that the higher the stakes on an exam, the more likely students are to cheat. So the solution is to offer frequent low-stake assessments, quizzes, short answer, other activities. Stress retrieval and rehearsal. Give students that chance to practice what they know over and over. If we want them to succeed eventually at high stakes assessments, we have to build those skills frequently with low stakes assessments. The third reason students seem to cheat is they have an extrinsic motivation for success. The issue is they're aiming for a grade, they're aiming for the money involved in the degree that they're going to earn, or even potentially for the job that they're going to get after they've completed the test and their degree. If they're aiming for that grade or that extrinsic motivation, they're not enjoying the task itself or its utility. So we need to encourage students to develop their own questions about big problems or challenges. Approach these issues from various perspectives. Let the students drive the discussion and the exploration rather than focusing the narrative for them. Think more creatively. And then how do these questions connect to their lives? How can they affect the student's future? This type of learning not only follows best practices, but it reduces the incidences of cheating because they're questioning things that are relevant to them personally. Think about reflective essays. And lastly, in order to reduce cheating, you should change things like time. Use a current article that sparks a debate, or place. Use a local community concern. It could be something very personal, how the concepts will affect each student personally, or something interdisciplinary, how the concepts or questions might be affected by other disciplines that the students are studying. So each change that you make makes it difficult for the student to cheat and also makes it interesting for the student to pursue learning deeply. Students who are engaged in this type of learning don't need or want to cheat. Another reason why students cheat is that they have low expectations of success. They have no confidence, they're underprepared, and sometimes they don't believe that their professor is fair. So they think that no matter what they do, the professor is against them, and they end up cheating. One of the theories behind this that might help us solve it is about metacognition. So metacognition is a student's awareness of their own level of knowledge and understanding. So if you have poor metacognition, a student will study for a short time and they feel that they know everything. Whereas if you have good metacognition, the student studies for a short time and they realize that they've only just begun to study. There is a 2003 study which looked at cheating in a physics course, and it was found that as deadlines approached, the copying or cheating increased. Those who didn't cheat had worked at regular intervals and did small pieces of their assignment over time, so they built their knowledge. But those who did cheat left everything until the last minute. So it shows poor time management, but also very poor metacognition. They weren't aware of how they needed to finish the assignment. So the solution is to use formative assessments, practice small activities that are important to the course, but build knowledge and skills incrementally. Test knowledge and offer feedback before you give a larger assessment. Build confidence in the material and in you as a fair teacher who gives them various opportunities to learn. Lastly, the campus culture or peer culture surrounding cheating really does have a high impact on students eventually cheating or not. So peer disapproval or approval of cheating is important to pay attention to. In a seminal study from 1964 by Bowers, which has been replicated many times, Bowers showed that in a culture that very strongly disapproved of cheating, only 26% of students reported cheating. Yet those who felt their peers held very weak feelings regarding cheating reported about 71% of students as cheaters. So that's a huge difference. And we want to pay attention to that. You don't want the culture of dishonesty to become normative on campus. Therefore, we must speak about academic integrity and set an expectation that it is a fundamental university value. And even though we are currently in an online environment, we still want to stress the importance of acting with integrity no matter where or how the course is delivered. Here are some references that were used throughout this presentation, and I invite you to contact the Office of Academic Integrity if you have any further questions. Good luck.